Have you ever been bullied by an HOA? Let me tell you about my wild ride. It all started on a sunny Saturday morning, the type of day you'd cherish. I was sipping my coffee when I noticed something odd in the mailbox. A letter with bold red ink screamed HOA violation right at my face. Apparently, my garden gnome was an unforgivable offense to neighborhood aesthetics. I felt my blood boil because the gnome was a gift from my late grandma. Every time I saw that little guy, I felt like she was right there with me. Now, the HOA wanted me to remove him immediately or face a hefty fine. I called to plead my case, explaining the sentimental value behind Norman. Rules are rules, was all the HOA president smugly said with a slight chuckle. I even offered to move Norman to my backyard, but they were unmoved. Frustrated doesn't even begin to describe how I was feeling at this point. I decided it was time for some good old creative retaliation against these bullies. First, I meticulously read the HOA rules, searching for a loophole. To my delight, I discovered there were no regulations on holiday displays. And that's when my brilliant plan began to take shape. I decked out my yard like Christmas came early, months in advance. Norman was now surrounded by a sea of twinkling lights and inflatable snowmen. Haha, the irony. The HOA couldn't do anything without contradicting their own rules. But it didn't stop them from trying. They issued veiled threats about unspecified actions. Yet each threat never amounted to anything more than bluster and paper. My neighbors rallied around me, joining the festivities with their own gnomes. Suddenly, our dull little street looked like Santa's workshop, full of laughter. The HOA was powerless, drowning in a wave of neighborhood merriment. Needless to say, they mysteriously abandoned their nitpicky campaigns. Victory never tasted sweeter, and Norman stayed right where he belonged. What would you have done if this was your HOA scenario? Team HOA or Team Revenge? Whose side are you on? Share your own HOA or neighbor stories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge, hit like so more people see it. For more crazy HOA revenge stories, subscribe to Time of Story and never miss the drama.